Hey family, happy Tuesday and happy New Year. Welcome to the first live stream of 2026. Listen, I hope that tax season is off to a smooth start for most of you. I know some of us are already seeing people, and others of us haven't even updated our software yet. But wherever you're at in the process, I wanted to start the year off with this video because as I've been talking to tax professionals, whether they're enrolled agents, non credentialed, CPAs, everybody is looking for ways to become more efficient in their firm. So, with our guests today, they have created a company that will help you increase that efficiency within your firm and help to take some of the admin tasks off of your desk during tax season. Um, I know there is like a 40-second lag for our LinkedIn people, but Tax Burtons, thanks for dropping down the comments and saying happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you as well. So right now we got about 4 people on YouTube. Drop in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And we have 5 so far on LinkedIn. So make sure you say what's up as well. But time is of the essence during tax season. So I want to go ahead and bring our guest up, Mr. Tevin Harrell, who is the CEO and founder of Smartwiz. I had the opportunity to meet him in 2025 and then meet his business partner Olu at the IRS tax forum in Chicago. And I'm really excited about what they're doing in the tax industry, and they're helping tax professionals level up. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in because, of course, I can't tell you about the product as well as he can. So without any further ado, you guys welcome Tevin to the channel.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? Happy 2026. Happy New Year. Happy tax season. Excited to be in front of you guys and share and talk. And thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure. It's my pleasure. I'm glad that it worked out that you were able to come. And like time is of the essence for tax professionals. I know you're out here doing the Lord's work, helping us get ready. So I appreciate you taking the time to be here at the start of tax season.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been a pretty insane couple months for us. We had to work through Christmas Eve, New Year's, right? Just making sure that everybody is good to go, onboarded, all of the different things. And now we're seeing even more of a ramp as I guess people are like getting back in front of the computer, starting to talk to clients again and seeing those things. So yeah, it feels like tax season already over here. But I couldn't miss this and getting a chance to talk to the community and seeing who else we can help.
Yeah. I feel you on that. And stuff's just been strange, like since that whole COVID era. Like I feel pre-COVID, I would have been ready. Now I'm just kind of like, we'll be ready when we get ready.
Yeah.
So, for people who may not be familiar with you and they're just clicking on this video because it's like, ooh, optimize my tax season, what is Smartwiz and how can it help a tax professional?
Yeah, so you could think about Smartwiz as the world's first AI tax preparer, the ultimate assistant to your firm. And so it's like, wow, what does that mean? What does it do? And how can that necessarily help me? So we look at this in a couple of iterations. We believe one day that a tax pro would do the thing that they do best, which is come up and have a relationship. So how we're on the call right now, talk to the person, have that human connectivity, and literally all of the work will be being done in the background. The first step of that is being able to prepare the tax returns for the tax professionals. So we released the Wizzy 2.0. And what Wizzy can do is Wizzy can take all of your documents, take all of the things that the client turned in. So whether that's an old tax return, the organizers, we can integrate directly with your organizer depending on the platform, all of the documents that they turned in to support their tax situation. It can read that information, understand it, come up with a tax situation, and then go and prepare that tax return in real time into your tax software in 90 seconds. Right? It's actually pretty incredible to watch. And
Yeah.
now you turn it to the reviewer and you're looking over it. You're doing what you do best, right? So think about us as an assistant or a worker, which is what other things can be done, what other things can I do to minimize the tax liability, and then you hit that e-file button and you on to the next one.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I'm not asking you to say any names, so I'm not going to say any names. There have been people who have tried to do this before AI was trendy, and it was clunky. It felt like doing the return all over again. So, for the people who kind of, have been in the industry for a while, and they're like, "Oh, it's just another clunky thing." I actually got to see a demo in person. I got to see one online when I first met Tevin, and the technology really is incredible the way that it works and how you guys have tapped into artificial intelligence to replace the data entry person, honestly. So with that, what is your connection to taxes? Like, how did you come up with this idea or concept for Smartwiz and Wizzy?
Yeah, and one thing before I say that is reallocate the data entry person, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we
not
gonna move
eliminating
to
jobs.
yeah, we go.
But
Hey, we ain't replacing. We reallocated that to more meaningful work, right? Marketing, sales,
yeah.
referrals, those kind of things.
But
Uh,
you brought up a good point, and I don't want to just brush by that because there is a concern for people like I don't want to use that because it's going to replace us. And like you said, and using an example of like a solo firm, this is doing work for you so that you become the reviewer. Because I know when I first started on my own, it was different because it was like, oh shoot, I'm the person putting it in, I'm the person reviewing it for accuracy, then I'm the person looking at it for strategy. Whereas when I was the little fish in a bigger firm, you have those people in place, so there are fresh eyes. So again, we're allocating that person to do something else, and it's actually like giving tax professionals the opportunity to level up on their services and their skill set because they don't have to be just that little fish. So yeah, we're not getting rid of
yeah,
tax professionals.
yeah. And that's the biggest thing about how we thought about this. So, kind of even going into your question of what made us do this, the background, the connection to taxes. So, I'm an engineer by degree. And when I first graduated college, I started working in my dad's tax and accounting firm. He owned several tax offices all over the Southeast. I got into it with the idea of doing like these young people's tax repairs because I just graduated college. All of my friends was going from being broke college students to getting their first real job,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They didn't know what to do. They didn't have a tax repair. They didn't want to try TurboTax. And because we're coming from engineering school, some of them was making pretty significant salaries and some with stock compensation and all of these different things. So that was kind of the niche we found. But my problem was they were moving all over the US, right?
Mm,
And so, his model was what we've been used to for a lot of years is like H&R Block. I come in, I physically fill out an organizer. I sit with a tax pro. I get my taxes done. And we were having people move to California, New York, Washington, D.C., all over the U.S., and they couldn't physically come to Alabama to get their taxes done once it's tax time. And when I brought that to him, he was just like, yeah, just tell them to fax it. I'm like, I don't even know what a fax is, right? Talk about from my experience, tax pros, right? So that's when I actually moved out and started my own company. And the first company was called TaxWiz, and it was just virtual tax prep was the ideal. And it's before COVID, right? And the whole thing was about, hey, come get high level service, CPA level service, right from the comfort of your own home. And that was the strategy, right? And we had found this niche, and we had started getting more young adults and getting more people on social media. We end up getting people like 20,000 people to follow our tax page, right? Which is a tall feat. Right?
Yeah. Content creators understand, like, that's
Yeah,
no
you
little
know,
thing.
yeah. So we was doing like TikTok stuff before even TikTok, like dance and teletext stuff for all kinds of different things. We were growing 100% year over year to thousands of tax returns, right? And we just building these systems around it to try to help us handle the volume. But no matter how many kind of mid-level systems we were using, we kind of realized that this thing sucks to do at scale, right? Because quality differs per person that
Yeah.
you hire and bring on, and training differs. And sometimes you hire a seasonal role and they get a full-time job, right? And that's what made us start thinking about, okay, how can we make this process better for ourselves? And then the pandemic happened, right? And once the pandemic happened, all of a sudden, people like my dad and people like my stepdad, who also physically has an accounting office. That's a coincidence. Tell my mom she loves accountants. Right?
Wow.
So it's coincidence. They basically needed a way to serve clients virtually in mass. And that's kind of what Ideal came about. What if we can sell some of these systems that we built up over all of this time to other tax pros? All right, so kind of our first stab at it was building out an e-file platform. We started going through IRS approval and started going through all of those different things. In 2020, we thought that'd be like a 3-month process, but y'all know the IRS, you know,
Yeah.
it took 2 years really quickly. So it took us 2 years getting IRS approved and doing all of that. And we finally got approved at the end of 2022. And then we launched our first product in January 2023. And the idea has always been around, how do we make the tax pros more efficient? How do we take out the work? And if you know, in 2023, you had that magic moment, ChatGPT come out, AI is at the forefront. We were blessed to be able to go raise money, bring on AI engineers. Some even was working on PhDs, and
Wow.
be able to see how can we leverage this technology. Because coming from being a tax pro, we understand that quality is of the utmost important.
Mhm.
Security is at the utmost important, right? It's more than just being able to do a magic trick. Um, and that's kind of what led us to put it in the hands of tax pros, put it in the hands of more and more firms and all of those different things. And then finally, we came out with Wizzy 2.0 that we felt confident, trained on so many tax returns and had so much understanding to be able to confidently get the boxes correct, be able to go through and do returns, understand forms. What are these forms and where should they go in the software? When should I do a schedule? When should I add the earned income credit, child tax credits? How should we answer certain things, and so on and so forth? And it's been magic ever since. We brought on like 1,000 tax pros in the last 30 days, just to put in perspective. So it's been insane,
Wow.
right, over here. So
Yeah, well, congratulations. Like I said, I know you're out here doing the Lord's work, so I really do appreciate you making time to be here today. I want to go back to something that you mentioned along your journey with creating a system so that you could serve clients all over the country. That concept like isn't foreign now, But I don't think people new to the industry understand, like, people were faxing stuff like your dad said. Like, I remember being at the CPA firm and, like, people were FedEx and overnighting, like, the 1099-Bs when they were still separate and it wasn't a consolidated statement. So, that's amazing to see how, like, you've been a little bit ahead of the curve. Like, God put you in the right place, like, right before it was needed. Like, "Oh, you need to serve people virtually? We've been done that."
Yeah, we got you. Yeah. Yeah.
So, with that too, and how you said now there's Wizzy 2.0, I also want to point out, so this isn't just, and I don't want to say just, but it's not only a tax preparer. When you use Smartwiz, it sounds like you actually have access to a portal for your firm as well.
Yeah, so that's what we started off with. We started off with,
Mhm.
being able to have the portal. And the ideal at that time was, hey, we give you a secure portal, ask the questions. It's built for tax pros, right? So this still at a time where like some of the CRMs and all those different things were up and coming that was specific and built for tax pros. Um, and then that's kind of evolved into, hey, you can just get us the information, give us the information, give us the forms, and then we can do a lot of the work that you would do in the portal. We actually picture a world where when you think about normal management and CRM and all of those different things, that technology is going to do a lot of that. So we actually solving it backwards from, hey, we don't care what you have. If you don't want to change your systems, how you get your client information, especially like in January, that's fine. Just get us the information over, or let us connect directly so that we can grab it, and then we can still go through and recategorize for you, right? For compliance purposes, change all of the documents, organize all of the documents for you, and then be able to prepare the tax return.
Yeah, that's awesome. Another thing that you mentioned I think is very important. ChatGPT is out. We've seen people's data be exposed, but you mentioned using, or not using, having to go through an IRS approval process, and you've mentioned staying in compliance, which I want to bring that to people's attention because everybody that talks about helping you with your tax stuff isn't concerned about the compliance and keeping that data safe. Um, with this, I think I already know the answer, but is Smartwiz using open AI or closed AI with the client's data? It's like, is it safe to have the client's data in there?
Yes, it's 100% safe. So going through that process, it was X amount of, whether that was security things that we had to get approved, how we protect the data, how we encrypt data, all personal information is handled in a certain way and encrypted, as well as like how we leverage our own AI that's doing some of these different things, and we're also SOC 2 compliant. So we went through that process for, I know a lot of people on the call know about that, just to make sure that we're continuing to be monitored and doing the best practices, especially for the category that we're in and the information and data that we're dealing with.
Yeah. So with that too, when we're looking at this, because people are like, okay, is it going to actually save me time? Is it going to save me money? For anything that's gonna help you, you gotta pay to play, right? But I'm in the process right now of hiring an intern, and the person that I would've hired, like, there on the spot, for the amount of work I have and what he required, it would've been close, and this is pre-tax, pre any benefits, close to 52,000. With what you all have created, and he would be, no offense to him if he sees this, he would have been little fish. Right? He's starting out as little fish. With what SmartWiz does, do you guys have data to show, like, how much time it's actually saved certain offices and like the money they would have saved compared to hiring somebody.
Yeah, for sure. Even so much so, we added it to our website if you ever needed it, where it's basically a return on investment calculator, right?
Okay.
So right now we charge $9 a return on average, and you can obviously save more money if you buy, different packages instead of more of a pay as you go, right? Um,
You can shameless plug. You can tell us what the website is.
yep, smartwiz.ai. Smartwiz.ai is the website. So
Right.
yeah, and on that, right? I guess you show if you want me to.
My
See.
bad. I'm muted. There you go.
Okay. So so on here, basically, what it shows is we charge $9 a return. Um, and you can kind of see like how much, whether it's you as a solo preparer, how much is your time worth, right? And you're able to calculate that. You're able to put in how many returns you plan on doing and how much you charge per return, right? So if you think about the average person, you go hire an hourly worker or you go hire the little fish, like as you call it, right? Then for them, they can only do X amount of returns in an hour, right? Depending on the complexity of the return. Whereas Wizzy can do a return anywhere between 90 seconds to 3 or 4 minutes, depending on the complexity of the return. And one of the things that we've even been seeing is people are able to go so much faster. So right now, we already have people who's done and processed 100 returns, believe it or not, and tax season hasn't started, right?
Wow.
Um, so um, how a lot of people are doing it is they're actually adding a fee to their client, whether that is a $10 fee for, hey, my turnaround time is going to be way better this year, and I'm just kind of adding a small extra fee of $10 that pays for the $9 to be able to account for that, right? So that's going to be a better experience for you, a better experience for me. And then some people are adding, now that they're getting a lot more time back, hey, I'm adding $50 a return because I'm going to do an actual consultation, or I'm going to, be able to now have time to be able to deep dive and do a lot of those kind of things with you this year, right? And some of them make it an
Mm-hmm.
opt in, opt out. But it's been pretty amazing about like watching how people are kind of leveraging it, but it pays for itself, especially like even if you bought one of the actual packages with the pay up front, right? At $1,300, we say like, okay, 3 returns for some people, depending on what you charge, 5 returns, and now this thing has paid for itself for the rest of the 200.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that can seem intimidating to somebody just starting out, but that is a huge time savings because I mean, we all know what inflation looks like right now. So even looking at like a decent little fish, you're gonna be coming out a good 22, 25 an hour. And again, that's pre-employee taxes, anything like that. So just weighing that, it really is almost like a no-brainer to go this way.
Yep, and and that's how we think about it, and that's why I've like for like the smaller or tax pros who wanted to like get a feel or like, hey, I might not do 200 yet, I do 30 or whatever the case is. That's what allowed us to be able to come up with the kind of pay as you go model,
Mhm.
where you can just get invoiced weekly for what you use, or if you do bank products, right, if you got a lot of customers paying through refunds, then you can actually just have it taken out of prep fees. So we just make it as easy as possible to make sure that we are getting paid only when you're receiving the value, and that's how confident we are in like how good this thing is.
Yeah, it from a cost efficiency perspective, like I said, makes absolute sense, but it also provides people the opportunity, like I said, to level up their service offering and their skill set. Because I know I have people that I mentor, and it's like, well, I don't have time to learn the tax planning or like present the strategy to the client because they're doing the data entry. And like I said earlier, too, like there's no fresh set of eyes. Because I know when I look at a return somebody else is prepared, I see all kinds of stuff.
Yep, yep, yep,
If
yep.
I'm the person taking it all the way through, then it's different, and I'm like, "Oh, shoot, like, I shoulda gave myself more time before getting that to the client." So, yeah, it definitely makes sense to me. We have somebody sent me a message. We're a little bit behind on LinkedIn, and I don't know, I hope StreamYard gets it together soon. Maybe that's a they need engineers like you over there. Um,
Yeah.
on StreamYard, we can't see the people on LinkedIn, so I'm just gonna remind them, if you are on LinkedIn and you have a question, make sure you give StreamYard permission to show it to us, so we don't pass over that. Because anything that's not getting addressed right now, it's not personal. It's just not popping up. Um, Happy Tuesday, Paula. Do you want to go ahead and do a demo and show us, how it works?
Yeah, let's do it. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm always excited to show my baby, right? um, so yeah, so basically how Wizzy works is it lives on your browser and it can be pulled up at any time. So you kind of see my mouse, y'all see my mouse moving, and I can click it and automatically bring it over. So even if I was on emails and so a client emailed it over, I can pull it in. If I was on my software, if I was on a different page, if I was on my CRM, I could pull information from anywhere. But for now, let's just say we're on our software, right? So I'm just going to initiate a return. 5, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 2, 3, 2, 3, right? So on my software, on my Wizzy, I can get ready to start a tax return, right? So let's say that I wanted to bring in a client in real time from JotForm or from Cognitoform or SweetDash, Go High Level, right? We have Taxes to Go, TaxDome, right? So whatever your intake system is, we can automatically bring over your customers and automatically load them up into Wizzy. Even if it wasn't one of those platforms, let's say you still do tax returns in person, then we can actually allow you to be able to take your organizer, your tax returns, all of those different things in person, and be able to press this gray button right here, kind of with the arrow up, and bring over the documents that you wanted to use, right? So kind of right here, let me just pull a client, and I'm about to just drag them over. All right. So I dragged over that client and their information, which includes the organizer and a couple of documents. And then I pressed the create a client button. And right now, in real time, Wizzy is reading the information. Right. So it doesn't matter how you have your organizer. We know people have different organizers, people have different levels of due diligence, people have different questions that they ask. Some people have returning clients versus not. Some people make them turn in copies of the 1040. It doesn't matter what it is. We can read physical organizers if your people come in person. We can read handwriting, right? You know, they need to help us out.
Oh,
But
wow.
it can't be chicken scratch. But if you can read it, then we can read it. We can read Spanish, and we can go and understand if they say yes to having to going to college. We can understand if they say yes to having dependents. And not only will we go through and read those things, we can read all of the documents. So even if you turned into us PDF ZZY1, right, or image 2217 from somebody's phone, we can see that document. say, nope, that's a 1099 NEC, and change it and recategorize it for you for compliance. Nope,
Hey, that's
that's
awesome.
yeah,
I
yeah,
get a lot of JPEG 147. Hey man,
yeah,
can you name this stuff?
yeah. What documents is this again? You know, you got to go through it, open all of them to go find that one document. Nope, no. We'll recategorize every single thing. We will um, go through, read the organize. We will analyze the actual tax situation. We will extract duplicates, right? So you know how people maybe send you this form twice and let you know. We're able to detect tax year. So somebody gave you a 2023 document in 2024, then we're able to do that as well. Or if you're about to do 3 years of tax returns, we can actually separate them by year for you. So you turn in to get us all the documents, put the 2025 stuff in the bucket, 2024 stuff in the bucket, and 2023 stuff in the bucket, right? So as this thing is going, you can kind of see, right, all of the information that the client turned in. You can pull multiple clients at a time. You can see all of the clients that you had loaded up or that you could do, right? And it'll tell you we're able to detect the spouse, we're able to detect the dependents on the return, and we'll tell you what all things we was able to pull, right? And now you can look at this. So for my people who do review, it uploads your spreadsheet, right? And you can see documents in real time. You can make them smaller. You can drag them over, drag your software over. So if you have teams and you're reviewing the information, make it super easy to do review now, right? And be able to check against your software, right? See all the documents that was turned in, and now, once you're ready to actually go and do and prepare to return, you just press this button right here. And what Wizzy is doing is thinking about what was on the organizer, is thinking about what information was given, what kind of questions you asked, what all things it would need to add, how it wants to handle the tax return. And my hands are up. I'm not touching anything, right? It will literally go through, and whatever you have on your organizer, it will be able to go and pull in real time, right? So this person had multiple names, so I'm just hit creating J, right? Creating, boom, and then be able to resume it, and it actually goes through, right? So it's not like a simple form filler. It will actually go through and do the main info. It'll click through and do the state information. It will do dependents and add all of the dependents and their information. Based off of that, it will determine if they have EIC or CTC requirements. It will go make sure those things are added. It will fill in all of the W-2s that was added, 1098Ts, 1099Rs. For my people with the 1099 NECs, we can add and fill out the 1099 NEC and then tie that to the Schedule C for you, right? The business client. We can do those 1095As that, depending on how they went about their health insurance.
Insurance,
Right?
yeah.
Sometimes it can be a little pain. Yeah, interest forms, dividends, capital gains, right? So we just really went and thought about like what are some of the major pain points of doing a tax preparation return, and we went through and said how can we actually do this for you reliably, confidently, and it'll even go all the way through to the e-file area, right? So like if you ask route an account, we can fill that out on your organizer, and make sure that all that's done. We can fill out the driver's license and all of those different things right there in real time. And yeah, and it goes through the review pages or whatever. So by the time that you are, again, not touching anything, so by the time that you're looking at this, right, and going through and ready to prepare this tax return, it's just more so, hey, let me just review it real quickly and let me move on to the next, right? And it'll go through and do one more final review. So that's what it was going through to do, and just kind of check, hey, did I miss anything? What's this? All the forms that I received? Did this clarify, answer all of the questions? And now this is the last page for people familiar with TaxSlayer. You're just sitting there and make sure the price, this is a demo account, so I don't have pricing in. Make sure your price list is good, right? And then make sure that you're going to get paid your direct deposit and you're done. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's Wizzy, and it's so cool because you can even tell it how it did, right?
Mhm.
So we've had it where this is an employee that works for you 24/7, 365. They don't ask for breaks. They don't get tired, right? They don't need, they don't need as much coffee as we do sometimes. And you can literally just go and tell it. Let me see if I got a return that's done. Um, what how it did and what it should do different. So right here, it tell you, hey, these are all the things so that you got a checklist too to compare. This is what we was able to do for you, and you're like, yep, that's what they turned in, perfect. And then you can, tell it, great job. You know, maybe add this to the checklist or whatever the case is, and then it learns and it only gets better over time. So yeah, that's Wizzy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Some of the comments that came in, Paula said, "Whoa, that drag and drop is pretty cool," which I agree. It is. It's pretty cool. Um, one of the things, some of the stuff that you were saying as you were going along, like naming the forms, like the 1095A, anybody who's had to do that reconciliation for the premium tax credit was like, yes, I don't have to do that anymore. I love that you created a solution to a problem that you actually experienced. Because I think that's kind of the problem with some of the stuff that's been created with like the enhancements in AI. Super intelligent people, but it's different if you haven't actually experienced the problem and the pain point yourself. It's a different level of like you got excited with us because they were in here getting excited too. Talking about that 1095A and the file names. Paula said the file names are part of tax time entertainment. Sometimes it's a thorn in my flesh. I'm like, you know me 3 years still naming stuff JPEG and tax burdens on LinkedIn said I'm starting to feel like a relic.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's here. Technology is here. And you see where it changed it. So this taxpayer's name was Boomy. So even if all of these was like PDF or whatever, you see it's like Boomy's tax organizers, Boomy's license, Boomy's Kroger W2, Boomy's 1099R Lincoln Financial, Boomy's 1099 NEC Maple Bear, right? So like, yeah, it does all of those things. Y'all know how it goes. And,
yeah.
and to your point, I think that's a big thing, a big key to hit on. Yeah, it's been a lot of companies who come into the industry to try to help solve the problem. It is a big pain, right? And tax and accounting is one of the most important things that people do throughout the year. They don't think about it until it's time sometimes, and we fuss at them for it, right? But it
Right.
is, and people are anxious about it and all of that. But yeah, when people come in and try to do something for it, the details just matter so much in our industry. I mean, like literally every single. So, like I have OCD because I've seen where a client turned in a digit off on an account number, and now the refund is going in a different place. And now we got to go reconcile that and all of those different things. I experienced that in 6 years of business, right? I've experienced
Mhm.
that the number one reason of an audit is missed keys, right? I've experienced how important it is to stay in compliance because we know that when they audit, the fines are severe and all of those different things. So, if they not super understanding of the detail that like no, like this should actually be tied to a schedule, like oh actually if you're going to do that, this is how you technically have to answer that question because there's a lot of conflicting rules in tax accounting, we know that. And I think that's been kind of honestly one of our greatest advantages and why we're growing so fast.
So we have a question here from Tax Burdens.
Mm-hmm.
They said, what if a client has a change, such as more info on a Schedule C? How do I make a change?
Yeah, so I'm gonna answer that from a broader standpoint first. The broader standpoint is, let's say that you ran a client and we all know our clients and they say, hey, wait a second, I just received something from Robinhood from all that trading I was doing. I got a capital gain worksheet or I got a 1099B, and you're like, I asked you, wasn't that everything? You told me. They're like, I never trained before, right? So in that case, we did add where you can always go here to upload and just add it at any time. And Wizzy is smart enough to not go back and fill out any extra information. It'll only just put in that form, right? And from a broader standpoint too, even if you have a template, right, or you got a returning client where some of their stuff is already in from last year, which is a lot of practices, Wizard will never overwrite information. It will only go fill in the new information, right? So that's from a broader thing. And then from the specific question about such as more info on the Schedule C, yeah, look at Wizzy as that on fire college intern that really wants the job, right? That's just going to work. But it's still your job as the tax pro EA CPA to review the return and do the best things in the interest of the client, right? So we're not selling Wizzy as the tax pro, right? It's literally think about it as a first draft, and your job is, hey, you're talking to the client. It's just some information that we just won't have. That some receipts that you might not have included and all those different things. So we fill it out, and then you still go work and do any other thing that you needed to do to maximize the return. Add anything else if you wanted to, like depreciation and all of that kind of stuff, and then file. So that's kind of how to think about it.
Gotcha. I love that because you can tell you've been in the trenches with us because that, hey, that's real. Do I have everything before we start your return? Do I have everything? It's like, oh yeah, I forgot I worked this second job seasonally. Like what? Or how'd you forget about this $10,000 interest statement or something
Right?
silly?
Yeah.
But yeah, I compared to other products too, I could tell that you've been in the trenches because of the stuff that you thought about. Because something as basic as that, like clients aren't going to give you everything the first time. You're like, all right, so what if I make a mistake? And they're like, well, you started all over. And it's like, well, that's not real. Even my best are going to forget something. Paula says, this is brilliant. I'm not usually impressed with some helper apps, but this was smooth. Look, you guys. And I'll put you on the spot, Tevin. I like this product, and unfortunately, right now it doesn't work with my software, or else I would be using it. But I believe in it. I'm not an affiliate, and that's where I say I'll put you on the spot. But look, if y'all are watching the replay and you think I should be an affiliate, y'all let them know at Smartwiz. You found out about it here. But this, I believe, really is something that is going to enhance what we do as tax professionals and help us provide more value to the client. And they've gone through the steps to be IRS compliant. This isn't something that just popped up and you see like the different ads and stuff and they ain't paid the cost to be the boss. Like they went through, they got that stamp of approval. Paula, I was that college intern too. Tax burdens.
That's how I started out as well. At first, when my dad's coming, I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I told you I was an engineer by degree, right? Yeah. So like, I would have to learn this and learn it and get self-taught and learn how they doing these different things. And it's like, and we all know, like, it's second nature now. But it's like, wait, so how they qualify for earned income credit? But whatever, they're like, oh well, the filing status also plays into it. You're like, oh my god, right? So they don't apply for that anymore. It was just so many things, right? So I was that person too. I was just learning. Yeah.
So tax burdens. I'm gonna get to your question because you took me to the next one. I'm not sure if this comment is for me or for you, Tevin, but do you all have like support trainings that you offer for the people who are users of Smartwiz?
Yeah, for sure. We have every single day Wizzy workshop. The next one's coming up in 7 minutes. Where
and I'm gonna let you bounce.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, we got a team. We the grown. Olu actually leads a lot of that too. Um, and basically, when you come on, learn other ways people are using AI. This product is developing every single week. We deploy something semi like a small change every single day, right? Without fail. Every single week is new things. So you have people, hey, how else are you using AI? How else are you guys leveraging time now that you're getting X amount of time back? That's actually what we learned where people are like adding, how they're adding the fees and how they're upselling for services and all those things. So we have Wizzy Workshop 3 times a day. We have where you can always get one-on-one help and onboarding. Our response time is usually about 3 minutes to 5 minutes, and we're gonna continue to decrease that to pretty instant as we get closer into the actual start of the tax season. But yeah, for us, we got a bunch of training. But I think they're saying joining your group tax training.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you that question anyway, so it worked out. If you're interested in joining my community and group, then you can go to americasfavoriteea.com, and then there is a free community. And then if you want FaceTime, actual group coaching and whatnot, there is the paid mentorship as well. So is there a Wizzy roadmap? We're concerned about the price, but what software is compatible with Smartwiz?
Yeah, so this is what I'm gonna tell you to do. Y'all go to our website, fill out the demo, fill out the form, right? And that will add you to a list if I don't say your software. Right now, it's TaxLayer Pro. So as y'all kind of seen on the demo, you can do it right now with TaxLayer and be able to buy it today. Um, you might see on there we sold out of some of the other softwares, but we have some announcements coming up. All right, I told you this. We got some announcements coming up that I won't say right now. So I'll encourage you if you don't have that software to sign up because I mean this is like as early as next week, where we might be announcing some of your favorite softwares, Drake, OLT, Cross. I don't know, right? So so I would definitely say just go. You'll see demo and just sign up and put your software because that's how we've been prioritizing which ones go out next.
Yeah, so look, if you're not using TaxSlayer, he basically just told you closed mouths don't get fed. Go sign up for the demo, let them know what software they need to prioritize. Tevin, again, thank you so much for being here, for not only telling us the backstory behind Wizzy, but then showing us how Wizzy 2.0 is taking over with Smartwiz. For people who want to do that demo, let you guys know the software, we have the website up. That's the smartwiz.ai, and I'll make sure that also gets in the description as well. Is there a place where people can follow you and or Smartwiz online as well?
Yes, for sure. So yeah, you can follow me in particular on LinkedIn, named Tevin Harrell. So LinkedIn.com/Tevin Harrell. I put it in my New Year's resolution that I'm going to be way more active, right? Especially
I'm gonna
soon.
keep you accountable because I'm on LinkedIn.
Right. So yeah, and I'll be active on there. So you can follow me on LinkedIn. You can follow the business on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, smartwiz.io. We're pretty active every single day on Facebook and Instagram. And we increasing the cadence on LinkedIn. So yeah, and that's where you'll see we got, I mean, just amazing updates and announcements. It's just gonna feel like back to back to back to back. We've been working on some of this stuff for months, right? For the next couple of weeks. So yeah, stay in touch. For my people who do have TaxSlayer, it costs $99 and then $9 a return. The $99 gets you 11 returns, so you're really just paying for 11 up front. That covers it onboarding, making sure you're situated, and so on and so forth. or you can pay up front. But if you have that, we promise you, one, we will refund you if you didn't like it or if it didn't work for you or whatever. Out of 1,000 tax pros, we've had to do 0 refunds to put this in perspective, right? That's how confident we are. And that's what makes us slow to release. Even though we have some of the other softwares, that's what make us slow to release them out to the public is we don't do it until like we know, right? Like, hey, this thing, because we don't want to waste nobody's time. We're busy, about to be at the tax season and all the different things. So yeah, but you can follow us. Make sure to stay updated. Be ready to go because we got a lot of announcements coming up.
And I'm excited for you all because that's entrepreneurship, right? Nobody sees the work in the background. Everybody's like, "Oh, you just came out of nowhere." It's like, no, they've been putting this work in.
They asking for your affiliate link already. You about to give me. You about to get. I'm about to get ambushed.
No. Again, thank you, Paula, because then I'm gonna have to send the team an email too. Like, you guys know this is living on YouTube and LinkedIn. In all seriousness, thank you again for taking the time to be here today to do the live demo and for giving people who may have missed this video live the opportunity to catch it later on YouTube. Maybe those people will see it right in time for the announcements.
That'll be perfect for sure. And thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure. It's been great. I look forward to our partnership. And yeah, we're gonna do more things, so y'all be able to look out. And especially as we kind of continue to roll out softwares, being able to work together. We're building a large community. I kind of told you how I admire your work and even the name America's favorite EA, right? I told you, I'm like, oh, that's good. That's a good branding right there. And I'm excited about partnership and continue to work together in the future. And I'm blessed that you allowed us to use your platform to be able to share this. So thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. So you all know you guys got to get back to tax season. Hopefully, this was the unexpected blessing and answer to you all's prayers. Tax Burden says thanks. Tevin has a great laugh. Thank you guys for the live. You all are welcome. Make sure that you are subscribed to my email list at americasfavoriteea.com so you know who our next guest will be and let me know what other information that you would like to see on the channel to help you build your EA firm. I will talk to you guys later. Have an amazing Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Thank you all. Have